Greetings, everyone. This is a special announcement concerning the Aramaic School of Light. I've always thought of having a school, but of course of a location and dormitories and things like that. But now, with technology and the way it has expanded, you can attend the Aramaic School of Light in your own home. And this makes it so much easier. We're going to have a tradition of looking at and understanding spiritual matters and bringing it into your home. And we're calling this school, as I just mentioned, the Aramaic School of Light. This is a different approach entirely. In fact, I'm naming the series of subjects that we will be teaching, I'm naming it Inner Awakenings from an Ancient Language. So it's not dogma, rules, regulations, legalization, none of this. This is a series of classes that will open the inner sensibilities that are in humankind. That is, going deep within the consciousness and the soul of every listener in these special classes. For instance, I'm going to read to you something that someone wrote, and I'll tell you his name at the end. I did not write this, but this is very serious. And listen to what this man says, and I'll tell you his name because you'll be quite surprised. He says, I believe in the teachings of Jesus, and I believe that complete happiness on earth is only possible when all men believe in his teaching. I believe that the fulfillment of his teachings is possible and joyful. I believe that his teaching is neglected. Yet, even if I am alone among those who neglect it, I can do nothing else to save my life from inevitable ruin except fulfill it. Even as men who find the door in a burning house can do nothing better than to pass through it. I believe that the life I lived in obedience to the teachings of the world was a life of torment, and that only a life spent in accordance with the teachings of Jesus can give me the good which the Father of life has ordained. I believe that his teachings bring happiness within the reach of all humankind, that it will save me from inevitable ruin and give me here on earth the highest good, and that therefore I am bound in reason to obey it. Who made these statements? Leo Tolstoy, who also communicated with Mahatma Gandhi, and also all those who really understand the true spiritual nature of humankind. So that's why I'm excited to report that we're going to open up the Aramaic School of Light. We're doing a preliminary series starting in October, one night a week for 4 weeks only. And I have the dates here that we're going to be doing it. It's always on a Monday night, starting at 7 o'clock for about an hour, maybe a little over an hour, but not too much over an hour. And it'll be October 5th, 12th, 19th, and 26th. And what I'm going to be doing is presenting, like the first two lessons on the 5th and the 12th, I will be presenting something from what we call the Old Testament, the Hebrew Bible, but looking at the mysteries of creation. Did it take God 6 days to create everything? What did it mean when God said, let us make humankind our image and our likeness? And theologians in the study of theology have been giving all sorts of meaning when it's really very simple. Really, truth is simple, not complicated. We complicate it through our own ways of thinking, but truth is simple. And the same thing as Leo Tolstoy understood about Jesus' teachings. There's so many things that Jesus is supposed to have said, but we have misunderstood it. For instance, he says, you cannot be my disciple unless you hate your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, etc., etc. You cannot be my disciple. Hate? Jesus is the teacher of love. Why would he use hate there? Again, Aramaic throws light and understanding on that word. And then also, for a man who taught love and his disciples to manifest love to each other, and that it was the principle that everything must be guided by, yet he turned around and threatens people with hellfire. Hellfire happens to be an Aramaic idiom. Is God really a ruthless, brutal, punishing God for all the evils we do? After all, we do so much evil, we should be punished for it. That's how people think. But this is inner awakenings from an ancient language. We will be touching on many of these things on these classes. So I will do on the 5th and the 12th some sections of the Old Testament, and on the 19th and 26th into the teachings of Jesus and the teachings and the writings of the epistle of Paul, which is also misunderstood. Women keeping silent in the church. We have a totally misunderstanding spiritually because of not understanding Aramaic phraseologies and way of speaking and writing, the literature form that the Apostle Paul wrote in. And we have a totally misunderstood theological basis for the status of women, again, from Paul. Not only misunderstanding of Jesus, but misunderstanding of Paul. And how about the last book of the Bible, the Revelation? That's awful scary, so many things. But you have to realize that when this was done, it was written to Eastern people using Eastern symbology and imagery. And it takes an understanding of that language and the symbols and the imagery and the metaphors that were used to portray something that is different, because we don't talk like they did in the Bible. So we're going to look at inner meanings from an ancient language. As I said, it's going to start in October. You must register for it. What about the charge? I'm going to do an experiment here. I'm going to do it on a free will love offering basis. That's 4 lessons every Monday night in October, Eastern Standard Time at 7 o'clock. So those in other areas will have to adjust their time accordingly. So that's October 5th, 12th, 19th, and 26th. That's on a Monday night. And these are going to be introductory classes and insight into inner awakenings, because this is the whole purpose. The purpose, this isn't so you know books of the Bible, so you know stories in the Bible. This is for an inner awakening of the inner self and the enlightenment and understanding that is there within you, hopefully, and in faith, These classes will help sharpen it more and awaken it more, and so that you can live and move in it more. I like what the Apostle Paul told the Greek men when he said, we move and live and have our being in God. What does that mean, in God? Is that just a religious thing that it has to do with church? Does it have to do with knowing the Bible? Well, we're going to go into all these things. This is why I call it the Aramaic School of Light and Inner Awakenings from an Ancient Language. Remember, this will be done on a free will offering basis starting in October, 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We'll probably go to about 8 or a little after, maybe 8:15, something like that, because I will open it up for questions so you can have an intimate conversational time with me and study with me. And therefore, the classes will be limited to just no more than 100 people. And this is so you can ask questions and directly, so that we can open up a fresh enlightenment and understanding for us all. Thank you. And I'll see you starting in October 5th. Remember to call the Noohra Foundation. That's Noohra Foundation, Noohra. Go to our website, noohra.org or .com, and register for these series of classes, only 4, Monday night. And as I said, you'll have to adjust according to your time zone. I'll be looking forward to seeing you in October on Monday evening. Goodbye.